Hey everybody, it's your boy Cherokee back here to talk about the mind. You know, we're going through a lot of stuff right now. I'm so glad that you guys are starting to tune in and you're listening, and I'm able to contribute things to you. So today what I want to talk about is mind over matter. If you don't mind doing the work, the facts don't matter. You can literally make the universe get out of your way. So the first thing I want to talk about is, how do you make the universe get out of your way? The first thing you have to do is know where you want to go, okay? Know where you are, which is easy to know, right? Either where you want to be or you're not. Then you want to know, what do you want? So what do you want to get out of this life? Do you always want to work for someone else? Are you in the job that you want to be in? Did you ever think, were you like me and say, you know what, one day I want to work for myself. I want to be the boss. I want to call the shots. I want to make a difference. I want to help my mom, my dad. I want to take care of my children better. I want to be able to take them to beautiful vacation spots. I want to take my wife, my husband, whatever it is that you might think about. I want you to write it down, because until you write it down, it's only a dream. But when you write it down, it becomes a goal. Something miraculously happens in your mindset, right? Because I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. The mind doesn't know the difference between a lie and the truth. All it knows is what you feed it, over and over and over again. So if you tell yourself you're a champion, if you tell yourself you're a king or queen, if you do it over and over enough, all of a sudden, you believe it. Now here's the cool thing about you believing it. You're gonna start acting like that. You'll act the part. You'll act like, you know what? I am special. I'm here to do a job. I'm here to serve a purpose, you know? And then other people will see that, because your aura will change. Your energy will change. The way you see the world will change. You won't just see all the drama, all the bad things that are happening. And there are a lot of bad things happening, guys. I get it. You know, I'm you know, privy to the news as well. You know, I'm privy. I usually don't watch the news, but because of the pandemic and because of things that are going on in the country now, you know, I find myself taking a look at things, you know, and feeling a little bit different. Well, one of the things that I want to make sure that, you know, we talk about is what we put in our minds. It's one thing to look at things and say, hey, this is happening, you know, we got all this drama going on, and we do, right? But at some point, we got to turn the channel. We got to turn the channel back to, how can we make a difference? Because it's one thing to complain about something. It's another thing entirely to do something about it. You know, a lot of people know that what's going on is wrong. You know, there's a lot of separation in the country right now. The good thing is that there's a lot of people coming together too. There's people coming together that normally wouldn't cross paths. So when I sit here and think about mindset, I think about it like this. How do we build a better team? How do we surround ourselves with people that will help us make a difference? And what I keep reflecting back to is networking. Networking. Know what you want to do in life. Know where you want to be in life. And one of the things that you have to want to do is, you have to want to be different. You got to want to be the best. Whatever it is that you do, you got to believe that you could be the best. You could be the best. There is nobody that can stop you from being the best at something in this world at this time. You know, we're at home a lot. We have social distancing. I'm at my office on the patio deck right now. You know, it's beautiful out here. It feels great. You know, I do my prayers. I study. And one thing that I want to talk to you about that I really believe is very vital to success is become an avid reader. If you're not an avid reader, become one. Start reading small books at first. Start reading little publications. You know what I mean? but make sure that what you're reading is something positive. Put something positive in your life. Start in the early morning. One thing I like to do, I like to listen to Les Brown. I like to listen to Eric Thomas. I like to listen to Tony Robbins, you know, Robert Kiyosaki. I love listening to Napoleon Hill. I mean, you got people that were here long enough, even if they're no longer here, they've left footprints in the sand for us, right? The other thing you're going to figure it out, all leaders are big readers. All leaders are big readers, you know? And the reason that that's important is it helps you give yourself direction, right? Now, out here, I brought a couple books out here that I wanted to share with you that made a difference in my life. One of the books that I love is by Napoleon Hill, you know, and this is Think and Grow Rich. This is the year. He also wrote, you know, Think and Grow Rich. This is the year of growing rich, okay? 52 Steps of Achieving Life's Rewards. Really good book, and it's not a big book. It's not a lot of reading, but it's powerful, right? It's powerful. The power of thinking positive, very important, right? Norman Vincent Peale. Another book that's not real big, but it's really powerful. Great book to read. Won't take you forever to read. And I think when you're reading them, I think you should take yourself some notes. Take yourself notes on what you're learning from it, and then start to apply it. If you're out of school, apply it just like that. It'll work. Things will work, right? Now, this book that I'm about to show you, matter of fact, I'm going to wait for a minute because it is my favorite book and it actually changed my life, all right? But Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. Now, this one is a pretty good sized book, okay? But it's a powerful read. Once you start reading this thing, it talks about your life, your mental stability, your emotional and physical, you know, element, you know, exercising and making sure you feel good. And again, guys, with the pandemic, I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I know I'm going to weigh 500 pounds. You don't have to. You can work out. I work out 5 days a week. I have a gym at my house, and I know everybody doesn't have that. But the good thing is you can exercise at home. You can do push-ups. You can do sit-ups. You can do crunches. You can do a lot of things. And I am going to be shooting some of my workout videos, you know, later on as I get more and more comfortable bringing live stream. But this is a really good book to invest in. You know, I think that it's really good for it. They all make a difference to me. I try to read at least one book a month, right? One book a month. Now, another book that's really good for you business savvy individuals is Changing the Channel. Changing the Channel, the good thing about this is when you say changing the channel, and this says 12 easy ways to make millions for your business, right? A lot of it talks about your personal business that you want to do from home, right? It's really good. It's really something, you know, Michael Masterson wrote this book, and there's a lot of steps in there that are pretty easy. Things that you can do online, things that you can do with friends, with people that you are friends with, and trying to build a relationship. Because that's all really what it is about, y'all. This whole life expectancy, this whole life journey is about networking and changing the way people think. If you can change the way you think, you can show others, you can liberate others to do better for themselves. These are the good things about what God has blessed us with. Ability to be leaders. And if you're a leader, stand up. Stand up and lead. Stop trying to follow somebody when you're supposed to be the one leading. That's another problem that we have in America, is that too many people don't want the responsibility of being a leader. And yes, it's a lonely position. It's one of those things that, you know, you're like, I don't want to get involved in that. That's something that's out of my lane. I want to stay right here where it's nice and comfortable. But if God made you a leader, there are people waiting for you to step up. They're waiting for you. Be the leader that you're supposed to be. If you're a parent, if you're a father, be the leader. Be a man. Step up, man. Step up. Right? Be a leader for the women. Make sure these women understand that they're queens. And queens, let me hear you. Right? Let me make sure I hear you. Let me hear your voice. Many, many moons ago, you fought for women's rights. women's liberation. Take your place, ladies. Take your place. And if you're with a man that can't be the right man for you, then it's time for you to move on. Move on to somebody that's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. That's going to be a helpmate. That is not selfish. They have to be selfless, not selfish, right? But that goes both ways. That pendulum swings both ways, ladies. You can't be selfish either. You got to be wanting to be a helpmate. You got to be wanting to be a helpmate. And these are the things that are going to help you in life itself. Not just for business, but for everything dealing with relationships. Make sure you use your own mind. Make sure you study things. Make sure you know something before you speak on something. A lot of times people hear somebody say something and that's law to them. That's not the way to be. That's not the way to be. Because sometimes somebody doesn't like somebody and they just put them in a negative light. And then all of a sudden somebody picks it up and makes that reality. And that is not reality. And somebody's impression of you does not have to be your reality. I just think that a lot of times we want to give up 3 minutes before the miracle happens. Don't give up 3 minutes before the miracle. Be the miracle you need. Be your own stimulus. If people won't help you, help yourself. When you help yourself enough, people want to get involved. They want to get behind you. Because some people are looking for something to attach themselves with, right? Now, this is the book that changed my entire life. And I actually read this back in school, believe it or not. It took me 8 times to read this book. 8 times to get it once. But I got it in 2006. I read this book back in the late 80s, early 90s. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. I tell a lot of people, this is my professor right here, my life professor. I never met the man in person a day in my life. But he changed my life by writing this book. By writing this book, it gave me a whole new outlook on how great can I be. If I really let loose, can I be phenomenal? Can I be successful? Can I make a difference? See, there's something, when you look at something and you say, you know what, I don't like the way we do things here. I don't like the way this is. I want to make a difference. And then you're able to do it. It's a beautiful feeling, everybody. It's a beautiful feeling. You know, when you sit there and you watch people struggle and you know that they're going to need somebody to step up and tell them that it's going to be okay. Once again, that's the leader in you that's going to tell them it's going to be okay. But your greatness within will make it okay. It will make it okay. So with all this, growing up in Philadelphia, spending 3 straight months sleeping in my car, which I've seen a lot of people that are very successful nowadays, they have very similar and even worse stories than I myself have. Coming here to Virginia, I don't have any family here. I'm married. I've been with my wife for 17 years. I've been married for 15 years. I didn't have anybody to watch, show me what it's like, what I should do as a husband, except Bill Cosby on the Cosby Show. Like a lot of us grew up with TV dads to see how we should treat our wives, how we should treat the kids and family. Well, guess what? I'm a grown man now. So I can't sit here and do childish things. I can't think like a child. I have to think like who I am and who I want to be like. Remember, the mind doesn't know the difference between a lie and the truth. Whatever you feed your mind over and over and over consistently is what your mind will believe. Now, here's the great thing about that. If you can conceive it and you truly believe it, you can also achieve it. If you can conceive it and you truly believe it, you can also achieve it. Anything you want. You can be anything you want to be. Nobody has a right to tell you that you can't do something. And if they do tell you that, I want you to store it in your tank. I want you to remember when you get tired, when you get sore, right? I want you to remember people thought you couldn't do it anyway. And I want you to draw strength from it. I always tell people that what made me truly successful weren't the people that were in my corner. You're only going to have a few people that are going to be truly in your corner. But what's going to really generate the energy that you need to be strong and be powerful beyond measure, you're going to need somebody that doubted you. You're going to need somebody to tell you you couldn't do this. You just can't do it. You're just not built for it. You're too short for it. You're too dark for it. You're too... Something about you. They don't let women in. They don't want you there. Oh, you're black. You can't do this. They're not going to let a black person do that. What if President Obama heard that? You don't think he heard that a time or two? Guess what? You can be anything you want to be. And let the doubt make you work it out. Let the doubt make you work it out. Years later, from sleeping in the car, the last book I want to show you is The Champion Within. Small book. But guess who wrote it? The Champion Within. Life is simple, it's just not easy. Life is simple, it's just not easy. Again, a quick, short read, but it's built around what happens when the mind is convinced that you are great beyond measure. You have convinced yourself that you have a story to tell. You're worth everything you want. Be worth it. Get excited about the changes that you can make in your life. Get excited about it, because only you should be the narrator of your story, of your life. And then, once you've made it, once you've achieved greatness, you have liberated people that are coming behind you to do the same. And now it's their turn. But it's your turn to pay it forward. Just as I'm doing now. Just as Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Eric Thomas, they paid it forward. George Fraser. These are people, I can keep going. Tony Robbins, Bishop Jakes, T.D. Jakes. You have to listen to people that make you strong and dig deep. Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe, the late great man that I love tremendously. Another one that makes you think. Another man that makes you think. Right? You have strong, powerful women out here. You can look at Oprah Winfrey. There's a lady by the name of Anita Powell. I have a lot of the girls that are under me. I have them following her. She's amazing. She's powerful. And she walks in her greatness. So, find people like this and attach yourself to them. I'll be here for you too. As long as God allows me to, I'll be here. I love you guys. And remember, dream big, do bigger. You can be great beyond measure. Think and grow rich. Peace.